Romans chapter 11 verse 33 going down. Verse 33 says, "Oh, the depth of the riches both of wisdom and knowledge of God. Unsearchable are his judgments. Nobody can question what God does." Say, "God, what were you thinking?" Those questions are for your boyfriend. What were you thinking? They are for your wife. Say, "Madam, what were you thinking when you are doing this? What were you thinking?" You can't ask God, "What were you thinking?" Because even when God chooses not to be thinking, he's thinking, and it's beyond the geniuses. Now, you can't ask God, "When you gave me this gift, what were you thinking? When you blessed me to be born in Monze, what were you thinking?" I am sure it would have been happening if I was born in Ndola. Actually, when you read Acts chapter 17, it says, "And he has made all people of one blood and has placed them in diverse places in the earth for the simple reason that they should search after him and find him, because he is not far away from us." So he knows what he's doing. If you have been born in Zimba, God knows what he's doing. I said, "No, you know, my background was very disadvantageous." There are people whose lives have been destroyed by being born in Lusaka. There are people whose lives have been destroyed by being born in America. So it says the knowledge and wisdom, the judgment of God is beyond understanding, and says his ways past finding out. 34, "For who has known the mind of the Lord?" Who has known the mind of the Lord? And who has been his counselor? You can't sit with God to say, "No, we are from counseling God. You know, there's an issue happening and we're thinking that." You can't counsel him. You can't advise him. You can't direct him. His knowledge is beyond your understanding. Sometimes we normally think we know very much. And I'll tell you that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. The more you know, the more you realize you do not know. There is no subject right now that you think you are an expert in that we can pick. We'll just ask you 10 questions and they will expose your ignorance. In any subject, where you hold a PhD right now, I could ask you a few questions. And you're going to realize and you're going to realize how ignorant you are. Actually, the more you learn, the more humble you become. Pride is for the ignorant, because they think they know by virtue of them not knowing that they don't know. The more you know, the more humble you become, because the more you understand the limitation of what you know. You know, when you do your undergraduate, you come out and you think you are an expert. You are not an expert. You are a generalist. That is why normally when you graduate from medical school and you practice, you'll be called a general practitioner. What you know is general stuff, whatever degree you hold. Then at masters you begin to specialize. And moreover, true education ends at master's level. That's why you learn anything. Beyond PhD, you are just researching on the one subject that you pick. And at masters you are going to specialize. I'll give you an example. If you come in the field of medicine, there are over 1,000 disciplines. So then you decide to pick on one and say, "I'm going to be an anatomist," and you do anatomy. And at master's level, you're going to realize that again you are doing some kind of general anatomy. Only that you have come from general medicine to now general anatomy. Then at PhD, maybe you pick just one line, investigating one anomaly. Now, you know how many things? One thing. The anomaly you specialized on. Then you come out of there and you are walking, you know that. You know the problem with people who don't understand. Now, here is my point. If a person at that level of education knows very little, the question is, what of the first year? The first year knows how much? The second year knows how much? Very little. That is why often for me I fear to venture in anything that I do not know. One thing that has helped me in life is to know my limitations. I've heard people who have an opinion on anything and everything.